SoFi.com/paid off. NMLS 696891.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey guys, we're the Twin Peaks Girls. Come have lunch with us every Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and listen to the Young and Norvell Show on ESPN 690.
Hey, boss, did you see the latest article in the Crooks R Us newsletter?
No, but I'm sure it's going to involve Safe Touch and probably give me a rash.
It says more people than ever are concerned about security, and Safe Touch Security, of course, is leading the way with new cutting-edge security systems.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, it goes beyond security, too. Now Safe Touch has systems integrated with the home's thermostats, lights, door locks, and of course the encrypted security cameras.
Yeah, never home alone and never away from home. I remember the slogan.
Ooh, and now Safe Touch is running a special for existing customers to upgrade their system.
Look, Skippy, this changes nothing. The Crooks R Us golden rule is still in effect. Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Yeah.
Now go find us a house without Safe Touch.
Got it, boss.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Right now, existing Safe Touch customers can upgrade their system at 50% off. Call 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license EF 2000-1945.
Northeast Florida is home to the Stephen A. Cohen Military Family Clinic. If you have a need, they can help. Immediate access to care for active duty, veterans, National Guard and Reserve, and their entire families, regardless of discharge status or ability to pay. Cohen is in the community and ready to help. Referrals are not necessary. Call the Stephen A. Cohen Military Family Clinic at Centerstone, 904-431-3500. They also offer many free events and groups to join. Call 904-431-3500 or go to CohenInTheCommunity.com.
Howard works from home. I try to keep things professional. But stuff happens. Now Howard and his wife are working with Community First on a home equity loan to make renovations to his home with no closing costs and special low rates, so Howard can build the office of his dreams.
So live your best life
with Community First. Learn more at communityfirstfl.org. Member NCUA.
Meet Abiana, talking about her experience with BioTarget regenerative therapy at injury care centers.
I started doing the BioTarget therapy for plantar fasciitis, and I noticed an improvement immediately. It was almost impossible for me to put my feet down to take a proper step. After the first treatment, I was able to actually walk and do so without limping. I kind of felt like because they were offering a money-back guarantee, it made me feel like they're sure the treatment would definitely work. I would definitely recommend this treatment to anybody that I know because it works.
Stop masking your pain with harmful medications. There's a better solution. BioTarget regenerative therapy has helped countless others, and it can help you too. Call 904-92-REGEN or visit GoBioTarget.com today.
Live from the Anajar and Levine studios, Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Member of the 1960 U.S. Olympic team, will be enshrined for a third time later this year as a contributor. He was just a giant in the game, notes ESPN NBA insider Brian Windhorst.
His impact on the game over the years is maybe as great as anyone's ever has, because you look at this guy who in the 60s was a star, in the 70s was a star, in the 80s and 90s was an executive star. I mean, this is a guy who was as relevant in the 2020s as he was in the 1960s.
League's planning a tribute to West before Game 3 of the NBA Finals tonight. Celtics Mavericks, 7:30 Eastern ESPN Radio, 8:30 Eastern ABC. Boston's Kristaps Porzingis questionable. Dallas's Luka Doncic probable. Lionel Messi told ESPN Argentina Inter Miami's going to be his last club. 36-year-old admitting there's not a lot of time left in his soccer career.
As humans, we like having options. One option you might like is speaking with a real person when you call about your credit card. With 24/7 live U.S.-based customer service from Discover, everyone can talk to a real person anytime, day or night. Limitations apply. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
From Studio 2 at the worldwide headquarters of ESPN.
Who is this guy? Aaron Shafting? What is it? Oh, Schachter? Schachter. Okay. Shack Attack. Schachter. He gets shacked. But I digress. Here we go.
You ready? Yeah. Turn off your radio.
The Aaron Schachter Show on ESPN 690.
Welcome. It's the Aaron Schachter Show. ESPN 690, live today from 3 to 5. Hanging with y'all. What a day it is. A little humid outside. Has it started raining yet, Brian? Have you noticed?
That I do not know.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the rains come yet. But it's felt like ever since this morning, it was just going to be a muggy day. Muggy, gross, and sweat-filled for anyone who steps outside for longer than 2.5 seconds. Welcome to Jacksonville in June. And speaking of welcome to Jacksonville in June, we're going to be welcoming a few guests today to the Aaron Schachter Show. Scheduled to appear, the legendary, the one, the only, Dada 5000. Fight legend, icon, basically the guy who invented the backyard brawl. Inspired so many different combat sport veterans. Essentially invented Kimbo Slice. That man will be in studio today along with Danielle Moinet, a.k.a. you may know her as WWE Diva Summer Rae, although she's put that part of her life behind her, and now she's working with Dada and their organization, BYB Extreme Bareknuckle Fights. They're bringing a fight card here to Jacksonville we are all excited about. I can't wait to go to these things. I can't hear you, Brian.
Aaron,
there you go,
sure.
bud.
Can't wait. Got to interject real quick.
Oh.
You know what? I know you said this is a sports show. But I understand that, we may go a little long in this A block. We may not.
What is happening?
Let me just tell you something,
okay,
man.
Tell me something.
Do you remember last week?
Are we going back to Boo Boo Gate?
Not Boo Boo Gate.
Okay.
But Boo Boo writing. Do you remember it was last week?
Okay.
When I brought up something that I have to read for another job I have here.
I see what you're saying.
And the
writing.
punctuation.
Okay.
And the space.
You've got a bad script, don't you?
And the wording.
Yeah.
And it's not a one-off. I want to read this right now.
Yeah, have you ever considered reading it as written?
Yeah, no, trying to.
Okay.
Huh? But I got to say my name at the end of the report.
Do you? I mean,
so, I guess I don't.
You can say somebody else's name, someone who you don't like.
I could just be like, hey. Anyway, I just run into this just now. I was trying to squeeze this in, pause before we get really into the show. Because I'm like, hey, let me go ahead and get that covered just in case.
Yeah.
And I'm reading through it, and I'm like, Compassion International is never going to get anybody. If this is what we're writing to tell people.
Oh, you're doing names and everything.
No, I'm not going to say the actual names I see at the
very
top.
Okay.
In 6 font. I'm not going to say those names.
What's it rhyme with?
I can't rhyme it.
You need better writers.
I hope Compassion International is not counting on this particular spot at 320.
You're salty about this.
Because, man, I don't know if you only have one job. You probably don't if you're working in radio. But, I mean, you got to do – this is important.
Yeah, we are in the communications business.
I used to work over in the television side of the building, Aaron.
Sure.
And I worked usually during John Botman and Tanika Hughes' shift, like the night side, right?
Look at you name dropping.
And so I would have an
iPad.
iPad.
Hanging out with fancy famous people.
Well, at work clocked in. So I guess that's what you want to call it. But
hanging out, working, whatever.
Yeah, I would look at the iPad to make sure I had the shots and the camera set up and letting the anchors know where they need to be at, even though they were like usually 8 steps ahead of me.
You guys are using iPads down there?
Yeah, their budget is crazy. I would look at the scripts and I'd be like, people who are watching TV do not understand how good and talented John and Tanika are, because that did not say that. That did not say that, and I don't know what they were trying to say.
I did see a funny teleprompter blooper the other day where the guy finishes just murderizing whatever the script was, and he goes, "I'm Ron Burgundy." He signs off from that because it was so embarrassing. Man.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll probably, like I said, squeeze this in, pause before the next 10 minutes, but I need a moment. I've read through it, but I need a moment.
Listen, Middleton, look me in the eyes when I tell this to you. You can squeeze this in with me anytime you want.
Of course, right? Of course you would say that.
Yeah.
And you mean it.
I'm here for you.
You know what I mean?
I'm here for you.
Yeah, okay.
I'm here to support you.
Okay.
So if you got squeezing on the mind when it comes to the Aaron Schachter Show, first off, thank you. But second off, thank you again. Just saying.
I'll see if you say that in the 4 o'clock hour. To either one. I'd be surprised if you do it with either one. I can't wait. I'm going to keep a list and be like, Aaron, why don't you try this line? Fit this line in. Ooh, we should do that.
Brian seems to think that I'm going to get knocked out by Dada 5000 today.
Not knocked out.
Choked out.
I just said, hey, play at the margins. The way that we joke around, everybody may not joke around like that. So,
Oh, it's all fun and games.
Yeah, well, hey, man, this ain't Cole and he ain't in San Francisco, man. He's right here. So I'm not saying be scared, man.
You, of course, are referencing our brand new friend of the show, Cole Thompson, who we spoke to yesterday from Texans Wire. He was hanging out in San Francisco with his dad, celebrating his dad's 69+ birthday out in San Francisco in some weird bar with Hannibal Lecter is what he was telling us.
He did say that, didn't he?
It's kind of weird. I didn't really understand what was happening, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
I just figure all Houston Texans fans have issues like that, so I'm fine. Okay, whatever you say, bro. But he was a good guest on the show. We plan to have him back a little bit later in a few weeks. But today's guests, of course, as I was saying, Dada 5000, Danielle Moinet. I believe that's how to pronounce her name. It's spelled a little bit odd.
It's French.
Yeah.
Aaron, okay.
It's
So,
French.
listen.
You don't believe it's a real last name.
Whoa, first of all, don't put words in my mouth.
Believe me,
Don't put words in my mouth.
We're gonna expose her when she gets in here.
When did we start doing off the record in the break conversations just live in there? Okay. I didn't realize that was a thing, but since I have the green light now, okay.
I didn't realize I was betraying you right there. I
it's all good.
apologize.
No, we're good.
Allow me to apologize to the rest of the audience for
don't
telling
apologize.
Brian's
apologize.
secrets on the air. I'm sorry.
It's French though, Aaron.
That's what the bio says.
I understood. I read it.
A French dad, British mom, living in America, born in Long Island.
Just a small town girl.
Living in a lonely world.
Huh?
Indeed. But an exciting 4 o'clock hour on the way, for sure. Before we get there, I do want to talk a little bit of Jaguars. Can we do that?
Okay, that's the team here in Jacksonville, right?
And it's the team who is preparing with their mandatory minicamp this week in Jacksonville. As a matter of fact, today's it. The last day of mandatory minicamp. Then everyone gets to go home, put on their shorts, rest on the couch, have a beer or 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever have you. Maybe it's a gummies kind of night. I don't know. I'm not sitting here judging you. I just know you better be ready when you come back for training camp, or else you're going to have to answer to Doug and company. It's been an interesting week here in camp. Although you wouldn't know it from the questions the media is asking. Brian, we may have had one of our worst all-time press conference questions.
Oh, no.
And it was so bad that Doug answered it as badly as it was asked, and then the reporter gets laughed at by the pool. And we happen to have the audio here today.
Oh, please. I can't wait to start there.
Don't get, this is where we're starting. Don't get too excited because the whole thing is 13 seconds.
Yeah.
And you do have to listen somewhat closely to hear what's going on because they don't really mic the reporters well.
Okay.
That being said, you can hear it, especially on the stream, because it's going to be a cleaner feed than the AM radio feed, especially if there's weather in the area. If you're anywhere near rain, it might be a little tough to hear this. You want to tune this bad boy up a little bit. But the question is asked to Doug, and then Doug answers in full, and then there is a pause where everyone laughs at the reporter, and then Doug concludes his answer. Here we go. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Wrapping up minicamp today, how have you felt about the young players being able to take advantage of maybe a few extra reps with coaches?
Good. Yeah, good.
Yeah. So I don't know if you heard that. Let's just break it down piece by piece one more time here.
Man.
The question gets asked.
Wrapping up minicamp today.
You're wrapping up minicamp today.
How have you felt about the young players being able to take advantage of maybe a few extra reps with coaches?
Good.
How have you felt about the young players getting a few extra reps with the coaches? Let's really break this down, Brian. Call me John Madden. Bring out the telestrator because we got to break it down.
Okay.
First and foremost, how do you feel about it, Brian?
Oh, okay, great. So I thought this was going to be much worse of a question than what it really was. Aaron, you understand this. You've done billions of interviews.
Yes.
Literally, okay?
Do 2 more
check
today.
the log. Billions.
That's a lot.
And 2 after today, right?
Are you trying to say this isn't a bad question?
Hold on, Aaron. Sometimes you ask questions and you already have an idea of how it's supposed to go, but you're trying to get a soundbite.
Okay.
I don't know if that's what this guy was trying to do.
Let me stop you.
But this wasn't, hey, are you still like down about losing last season and such?
That is literally the kind of question this is.
No, it's not. It's one of those questions where it's a softball. And Doug knows that. And Doug could have went into
this. Isn't even a softball. He took the ball and he rolled it to the plate.
Aaron.
It's not a softball. It doesn't mean anything. There's no purpose to the question.
Coach Pederson could have answered this question and give us the coach's speak for 25 or 30 seconds. The same way my man Phil Circle talked about Walker Little.
Phil Rusher.
He could have done that here and said a couple of names. Brian Thomas Jr. was great. Just give us the cliche, man. We just looking for a soundbite.
Brian, here's the problem. This is Doug's 6th press conference in the last 3 weeks.
How much are they paying you? What? You're one of 32 of an NFL head coach. You know what comes with the job.
How many times are you going to
ask we want to ask
the same bad question?
As many times as that direct deposit hitting your account every month.
So let me stop you also because you did say something that's true, but I hate it.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
I hate it.
Yeah.
But it's true.
Yeah.
Sometimes a reporter will ask a question just to get a soundbite. I swear to you this happens. Sometimes the story is essentially written. Not all the time, not even most of the time. Sometimes the story is written already, and you're just looking for sound that day. That's bad reporting. That is awful reporting, Brian.
You are so disingenuous right now.
Awful reporting.
I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm saying that everybody does it, including the great Aaron Schachter. You've done it before.
I've
never.
It's
not always just bad. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. We can move on then. Because if you've never done something in this kind of neighborhood where you've asked an entertainer, an athlete, a coach, whoever you may have been in front of, and you already had an idea of the framework of the story, and you're just like, I just got to make sure that this person is going to. No, that's what.
No, let me respond to that because I think what you're describing is something that happens all the time, which I do, and I think a lot of people do. For instance, we're going to have Dada 5000 in here today.
Okay.
All right. Dada's history is fairly well known, but we are going to reset that history for anyone listening who doesn't know it. Right. And one of those stories is about something absolutely insane that happened to him in the octagon with Kimbo Slice that everyone in 2016 who was paying attention heard about. But I'm still going to set him up to tell the story again because I don't know who listening has heard the story. That is something different than what we just heard.
It's the same.
Here's
the same
the
concept,
saying.
Aaron.
If I turn to Dada and I go, hey, man, you're now doing the bare knuckle fighting stuff. It's fun, right? And
that is not what this was.
That's what this was.
Aaron,
there is no other answer.
Yeah,
there is no other answer to the question that was asked.
It's open-ended. How do you feel about these young guys getting reps with the coaches even more? That's basically what he asked.
The context is important here. The context is they've asked this question 6 times.
And that's okay. Not that. You said that led off? Did that lead off? Or?
That was really question 1B, but yes, it was the first question.
And it wasn't that conversation. And even more importantly is this. Even if it is bad, even if it's the 6th time you've heard it, listen, it just comes with the territory. Answer the question and listen. Coach Pederson, I've never heard anything about him being like, difficult with the media.
Oh,
yes.
I have.
Well, no.
But I don't think that's what this is.
Yeah, and I don't think that even if that was the case, like that's not what was happening here. And it is kind of funny, you know what I mean? One of my biggest fears.
Hilarious.
One of my biggest fears is to be
naked in school.
No, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm good, my boy. You know what I'm saying? Except for the police officers that would probably come and be like, hey, man, let's take you to jail. But one of my biggest fears is to ask a question.
Write this down for what did I learn today?
And then like Trevor or Coach Pederson be like, hold on, I don't understand. What are you talking about? I don't understand. Like, explain it more. I don't know why, but that little bounce back, like,
that's fine though.
Your question makes no sense to me.
No.
How about you explain it better? One of my biggest fears.
No, that's not worse than this. That's not worse than this. I'm not even talking the question. I'm talking the reaction. That's not worse than this. That reaction to me could also mean this guy at the podium is kind of thinking in his head while he should be listening to me, and he missed the bulk of the question.
Could be.
I need to ask it again. What happened here was the coach looks at the reporter, and granted, I have audio only, so I don't really know the eye contact or anything.
Set it up. Yeah.
But what happened here, auditorily, is that Doug looks at the reporter and go, what are you, a simpleton? Are you a dummy? It's good. We're fine. Next question.
And that's a problem. Now, that's a problem because he's more than smart enough, more than intelligent enough to know, okay, I understand that he wants to hear me say Brian Thomas Jr. and some of the good things that happened there. Or some of the good things that
heard that yesterday.
Yeah, and let's hear it today. You still the head coach, right? Did today's practice, happen yesterday?
It's a 9 a.m. press conference.
All right. Well, that's fine. I wasn't here for yesterday.
Okay.
Whatever the reason is, how about you just answer it again? How about this? You've heard it 5 times before, this 6th time, right? Give me the exact same answer. Since you've practiced it 5 times. This comes off a little jerkish. I don't think Coach Pederson is a jerk.
Okay.
But you know what the answer is, and you understand the cat and mouse game this is. You understand what this reciprocation is.
That's not what I understand this to be.
Yeah, well, clearly.
What I understand this to be is one in a long line of bad questions that Doug finally gave him what for, and if it wasn't deserved, I don't think the whole room was laughing at the reporter in the aftermath.
No, that's not true. Come on now. You know how petty Jacksonville media is. Like, that's not true, and media in general. So, like,
I love this.
If you
Doug.
get embarrassed, you get laughed. But now, remember this now.
Okay.
I know that people have already been very biting in the media, especially after last season, the second half. Remember this, because I don't know who this guy was who asked this question. But if he has any semblance of a following, if he grows into some type of local media star and things start going left for you, I don't want to hear anything about, he doesn't know anything. Why is he being so, he's not in the building. Why is he being so down on me? Like, you can't do this with individuals and then expect them not to reciprocate that energy back to you.
You think this guy's going hunting for Doug?
Well, no. He sounded 17 to me, to be real with you.
Wrapping up minicamp today, how have you felt about the young players being able to take advantage of maybe?
Is that Stewart?
Yeah, this guy might be going to FSCJ as a freshman right now.
Is that Weber?
Nah, Stewart wouldn't ask that question. Yeah.
Today, how have you felt about the young players being able to take advantage of maybe a few extra reps with the coaches?
Good. How is he supposed to feel, Brian? You tell me. You're the coach.
Yes. Feel good and then expand a little bit. Hey, I feel good. I feel good.
He did. He said good.
No, really good.
And then he expanded the silence a little bit. And then he said good again. You could drive a truck through the silence. Do you know what kind of pucker moment that is for the reporter? You talk about being embarrassed on, can you explain your question differently? This kid sitting in this press conference galley, room, could have made diamonds out of coal.
To your credit, Aaron, that's why you always have a follow-up.
Yes.
Or simply just be like, let me just follow up with you with that real quick. Specifically, so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so.
Or you could be mid-pucker and go, oh, boy, I got to eject, and go, here, let me ask that a different way, and then ask a different question.
Yeah.
He goes, how do you feel about young guys getting reps? Silence. Let me ask that a different way. What does Brian Thomas Jr. look like today? Like, that's – you got to get out of it. Get out of it.
He'll never get – that kid, honestly, he sounds like he goes to Sandalwood. As a rising junior.
Will you apologize to the audience if you find out it's a 25-year reporter?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
But that kid will never get cooked like that again. That high school junior will never get cooked like that again.
We disagree.
Not by Coach Pederson.
We disagree.
Nah, you'll have a follow-up at the very least.
I happen to think this is like this is like a symptom of a bigger issue for this guy. That's fine. That's fine. Doug did actually answer some questions today. He didn't just give a hard time to a reporter. But there were other questions where Doug had to correct the media. Other questions where reporters continue to repeat themselves. But before we get there, we got to ask about the guy that, Brian, you just mentioned. Obviously, everyone wants to know every day. Give us the update. What else can we talk about with Brian Thomas Jr.? Today, it's about the presence of some of these veterans in the locker room and what that offers to Brian.
I think it's a good transition to have, the veteran leadership in those rooms, especially in this situation with Brian, being the draft pick and being in that room as well. I think that's it makes his.
I mean, technically, you could have answered this question the same way he didn't answer the other question, but that's
Thank
fine.
you.
But
Yeah,
that's fine.
yeah.
Look, Belichick made a whole career out of that kind of stuff.
Hold on. You win 6 championships, and then, okay, start being crotchety like that,
You don't
please.
think the hoodie was the hoodie before he won his championships?
Yeah, he probably was. That's
yes,
a good
he
point.
was. I had him on the Jets as an assistant coach. He was the same guy.
That's a good point.
His life a little bit easier from the standpoint of just the comfort of the guys around him. Not saying life on the field is going to be easy and anything like that, but I think just that transition from college to the NFL, what it looks like to be a pro with guys like Gabe and Christian in that room, and even a guy like Tim Jones, who's been around now for a few years. I mean,
we mentioned Tim yesterday.
There's another guy that has great leadership ability, and understands what it takes, because he's been one of those guys every year that's had to work and fight and claw and scratch to make the 53. And I think
working out a nice career for himself, even though he's not a starter out there. Good for Tim Jones.
For Brian to be able to see all of that, maybe puts his his mind at ease just a little bit, as he transitions now into camp, which ramps up even more.
I don't know if it's putting his mind at ease, but I'm sure he's happy to have veterans there helping him along.
That Fletcher High School senior is like, so you couldn't say any of that? you had to cook me. You couldn't say any of those words?
Look, there's more. There's more, though.
Okay.
There's more. How about this question? This question is, normally, you tell the veterans, and that includes second-year guys who have played, that they can skip this camp if they've been to voluntary camps. But now you've got all these second-year guys in this mandatory minicamp. Why the change this year?
A lot of the vets that are here, in Anton's case, the injury.
She asked about Anton specifically.
Okay, so I can't. They're not medically cleared to leave yet. So
right now, Doug Pederson is talking about guys like Gabe Davis and other, like I think Darnell Savage dealing with an injury. Guys who are dealing with injuries who haven't been medically cleared, they have to be at the mandatory camp. This is actually something we've heard from Doug multiple times now. I'm not sure why she keeps asking this. Multiple times.
Until they get medically cleared, that's why those guys are here. Guys like Devon Hamilton and,
like I said to you yesterday and the day before,
Anton and Darnell Savage, Gabe, all those guys are still here this week. Roy's here, so
I literally said to you less than 24 hours ago.
Otherwise, they would have been, the guys probably on the on the surfboards right now. But yeah, so and then two second-year players who maybe didn't play a lot. Last year. And
which is also what we talked about at the start of the camp.
So, and then two second-year players who maybe didn't play a lot, last year and coming into, coming into their own a little bit. So just want to give another 3 days of just development and growth.
But good for the young players. But how many times we got to answer the same question? When do you start listening? When do you write the story? Is the answer going to change? I don't understand what they're doing in there sometimes. It's not everybody.
Sounds like it's most of them, though.
It's not most of them, although I do have one more. One more question that has thoroughly annoyed me. And we could throw this right on the pile with the Josh Cephas questions. We could throw this right on the pile of the veteran presence to help Brian Thomas Jr. questions. Here comes another question about how has Mac Jones been handling his role in camp? How many times do you remember hearing this question? Because I can count 4. You don't remember hearing this question?
Oh, I thought it was like rhetorical.
Not
My bad.
rhetorical.
Okay.
I literally want to know if you remember. Oh, you have?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I have heard
Let me
that.
ask you this. How many times did you hear anyone ask about C.J. Beathard last year?
Maybe once.
None times, Brian.
Nah, maybe once.
Except for when Trevor was in during the regular season getting hurt, and then C.J. comes. I'm talking preseason in camp. You've never heard C.J. Beathard's name during camp.
But C.J. Beathard isn't Jacksonville's very own.
Is that what this is about?
He wasn't a first-round pick.
That's what this is about.
Hey, listen, man. There's different contexts, different circumstances.
We're talking about a guy we most likely will not see take a snap.
You got to watch your mouth, though. Tread lightly. I'm not playing. Mac Jones is big in these streets out here.
Okay, fine. I'm not saying he's a bad guy.
Let the
I'm not
Bulls
saying
contingent run
he
up on
didn't
you.
look cool on Twitter doing the Mike Jones thing. I'm saying we are talking about Mac Jones' role for why.
Okay.
For why? How should he be handled? How would he be handling it? Let me ask you this. If Mac Jones came to camp, and we've heard only the opposite of what I'm about to say. If Mac Jones came to camp and he was an absolute jerk. He was really treating people poorly. He was bitter. He's like, I should be QB1. I don't understand. My city. If he was doing that, do you think we'd be hearing about it? We wouldn't be hearing about it. What are we asking here?
Hey, he's done a nice job. He's come in, he came in early, and, he's one of those guys that wanted to be in the building and just learn. And, just another good piece to add, to our roster, and especially to that room. And
wait till you see the explosive story I've got coming. I'm writing on this Doug Pederson cut about another piece to the room.
He's done a nice job. He's obviously the only quarterback this week that we have, and
heard that 4 times this week, by the way.
It's good for him, so he can get all the.
Not that he shouldn't be saying it. I'm saying he gets asked it over and over and over. Like, I appreciate the Jaguars for setting up the schedule. I appreciate guys like Doug and Press and Coach Nielsen and whoever else, Phil Rauscher, whoever else makes themselves available. I do appreciate that because the media should be asking these guys questions on a regular basis.
Let me ask you this question.
How the second string or third string quarterback is doing in the preseason mandatory camp? I don't know that that's one we need to bother asking right now.
Let me ask you this, because you're a solutions-oriented guy. Once you get through trashing people, you do get the solutions, Aaron. I've worked for you.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? I've seen you handle stuff that doesn't go well and make it go well.
With karate.
So I know you figure things out. What would you have the Jacksonville media as a whole do? And I know you said it's not everybody, but for everybody to kind of get on the same page. I mean, you don't want to hear about the same questions about Trevor. You don't want to hear about the same questions about Mac Jones, who's a backup.
Yeah.
You're definitely not going to want to hear about, I don't know, guy number 72 right now on this potential roster before the preseason even hits that probably won't even make the squad.
Some people
would you just cut the pressers down?
I don't mind the coach giving an update on guys we either haven't heard of or don't know much about. So if you're talking about guys low on the roster, not even really on the depth chart, trying to earn their way onto the team, like there is value in the answers there. I'm just saying I can appreciate the Josh Cephas story. I just don't need 4 straight days of give me an update 6 hours later when all you're doing is drills.
Yeah, that's fair.
You're not even doing one-on-one. You're not even going up against the defense.
One more. Can I follow up, please?
Sure.
Let me follow up.
Brian Middleton, ESPN 690. Go ahead.
Does this not change your opinion about how Doug handled the question with the 15-year-old then? Because he's answering all these other questions with at least 25 to 30 seconds of circle talk, and he's heard it 6, 7, 8 times that day.
I'll speculate because I don't know what's in Doug's head. I can only guess.
Yeah.
I think he answered that first question, and it got awkward in that room. It was like a 7-second silence. People were laughing uncomfortably, and I think Doug was uncomfortable on that podium. Because for a coach on that podium, you're not just talking to a room of 7 people. That video is going out everywhere. The video is going out on all the media, social media channels. The video is going to the NFL Network. Okay. The video is going to be everywhere. Okay. And so in the moment, in his head, he can be like, what an asshat. Another one of these questions? Unbelievable. What a donkey. And then go, oh, wait, I'm live in front of the world right now. Let me get it together.
I honestly think this probably plays in his favor, though. I think more people would, laugh. Genuinely laugh, not awkwardly laugh.
I laughed.
And be like, good for you, Doug.
I laughed. I said, good for you, Doug.
But if you're going to answer the other 7 questions like that, even if you felt awkward after the way that first one went and you went through that thought process you just said.
Let me throw another wrench in the equation.
Just circle back and be like, hey there, 14-year-old freshman. let me just give you a sound bite.
Another wrench in the equation. Some questions should be asked over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And when they do that to Doug, I've seen him get annoyed, and I'm like, good, keep going. Keep asking him.
You have.
And I'm talking about the Press Taylor question because he hasn't answered it. That's the only caveat there. If you ask the coach a question and he refuses to answer via circle talk or no comment or I haven't gotten there yet or we haven't thought of it yet, then you have the right to ask every time until he answers. That's as far as I'm concerned if you're a member of the media. What you don't have the right to do is waste my time. Clearly, Doug's scheduled to be there. And by the way, you can tell media had really nothing going on today. Doug's press conferences last anywhere between 15 and 20 minutes. This press conference was 6 minutes. 6 minutes. It's okay to say we don't really have much for the coach today.
Yeah, we're good.
So maybe they're not allowed. Maybe they're afraid their boss will be mad at them. So attend the press conference and ask 2 or 3 questions.
Yeah.
And when they ask if you have any more, say no, and it's over. Fine. We don't need to ask the same bad questions over and over again.
Some people just like to be heard, too. I won't name any names.
I buy that.
Some people
already played one of those questions. I buy that.
Love to be heard.
Oh, do they love to be heard? Despite having answered the question over and over again, and she's still going to ask it every time, some people love to be heard.
I'm like, go to your Winn-Dixie source, man.
I was like, don't you already have a show? You already got a show.
Here you go.
You got a microphone.
Messy Aaron Schachter, everybody.
You don't need the press conference.
What's the show name, Aaron?
I forget.
Oh, okay. I didn't know how messy you really wanted to get. All right.
Because there are other people I like on that show.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Actually, me too. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, there are good people over there. Some of them.
I'm not going to play with you anymore right here, Pauls.
We should probably take a break.
Okay.
Run a little bit late. We're expecting our guests to arrive sometime here very soon. Man, we're already off to a fun start. I got the 2 cuts. Just sitting here yelling about the media today. Don't mind me. It's the Aaron Schachter Show. You want to jump in? 904-362-9901. When we come back, maybe some Josh Allen cuts as well. I got questions about maybe the biggest grudge holder in the entire city. That's next on the Aaron Schachter Show.
Hi, everyone. Terry Norvell here, along with Patrick Young from the Young and Norvell Show.
Our show is going great, and we are looking to grow the show with some new advertising partners.
If you're a business owner looking to market your product or service to a male, high-income, and college-educated audience, we are the show for you.
Just reach out for more information with a call or a text to 904-305-7526.
That's right. I'll get in touch with you, and we'll put together a budget-friendly marketing plan on our show exclusively for your business. Call or text me, Terry Norvell. That number again, 904-305-7526, and let's get you on our team.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Leaving for the gym so early?
I'm ready to go.
Since you started taking Nugenix Total T, you've been acting like when we met in our 20s.
I feel like myself again. Lower testosterone after turning 40 slowed me down. Nugenix Total T has been a game changer for me.
What is it about Nugenix Total T that's different?
It's a key ingredient called Tesnor. It boosts free and total testosterone to help you get back the drive and energy from your youth. Total T is backed by 5 clinical studies.
I've seen the huge difference it's made for you in the gym, at work, and in the bedroom.
I'm so glad I sent them a text for my complimentary bottle. Text PREP to 321321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Nugenix is the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now, and we'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text PREP to 321321. That's PREP to 321321.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Our returning champion, a basketball court sweat mopper from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Louis Cramp.
Great to be back, Merv.
There's only one category left on the board, Louis. People you can trust to repair your air conditioner. Your 10 seconds starts now.
Well, I'm pretty handy with tools around. Right, so my Uncle Steve used to fix transmissions, so maybe he could... Okay, sorry. I guess just call the guys at Bueller?
That's right, Louis. The highly trained technicians at Bueller Air and Plumbing have the tools and the experience to service any make and model of home air conditioner to make sure that you are cool.
You sure I can't just have a quick...
Yeah, we're done for today.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Rich Jones here. If you're an investor who's interested in doing well while doing good, getting solid returns on your investments while making a positive impact, consider investment funds with DLP Capital. Here's Don Winter, CEO of DLP Real Estate Capital, to tell you more.
With the current housing shortage in the U.S., investing in real estate, especially workforce housing, is one of the safest and most reliable places to invest. We invest in affordable housing for hardworking people and generate amazing returns for each of our investors.
To get your investor's guide and find out more, dial *6 Star Invest from your cell phone or visit highyieldreturns.net.
The lightest 350 horsepower onboard has just hit the water. Introducing the all-new Yamaha 4.3-liter V6 Offshore F350 with advanced features and class-leading power to weight. Every run will be more efficient and exhilarating. The new 4.3-liter V6 Offshore F350 from Yamaha. Reliability starts here.
Can you fly, Snyderman?
I wish.
Do you have super strength?
Above average for my age.
X-ray vision?
Nah.
Then what makes you a superhero?
Our AC is out.
Duty calls, kids.
Snyderman saves the day with affordable preventative care plans that keep systems operating at peak efficiency all year long. Get your preferred customer plan at snyderac.com today.
You're my hero, Snyderman.
CAC 1813307.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. While leaning over the fence, your neighbor said you could save money bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. Your neighbor leaned over a little too much and broke your fence. Dumb news. Somehow fence wood is more expensive than wood. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and to plant really tall shrubs. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey guys, we're the Twin Peaks girls. We just love guys that listen to the Young and Norvell show. Weekdays, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on ESPN 690.
I'm in a lot of trouble. Getting all kinds of texts from my wife.
Really?
Don't worry, she's not listening to the show.
Oh. What is that?
She saw a Facebook post in the neighborhood group. Someone left a tiny little puppy in a tote bag in the woods. Like abandoned it.
Yeah.
So sad. This is the cutest little puppy you've ever seen.
Was?
Well, it is.
Oh, okay. I thought I was going to change the background music.
No. You got to get the Zay Jones music on there.
Wow.
No, man, the puppy's still alive, but she's trying to get me to sign on to taking the puppy in. She's like, we have to help. I was like, you can help.
Can't do it.
Nope. Can't do it. I said, you can help by sharing the post. You ain't gonna bring that dog home. Not when we still have a puppy in the house.
Oh, man.
Can't do it.
No way. Literally this morning, she was annoyed because the dog was sleeping up by our heads in the bed. Head on the pillow kind of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, she doesn't like that.
You guys are pet sleep in the bed kind of people.
I don't mind.
So, yeah. You could say
mind.
yeah.
As long as it's over the covers. Once the dog is under the covers, there's all kinds of grit in the bed. I want nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with it. What?
All kind of grit in the bed.
Yeah, because the dog goes outside. She's digging in the dirt. She comes back in with dirt in her paws and her face, and she's getting the dirt in the bed.
Yeah.
Like on top of the covers, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
But under the covers, I don't want to be sleeping in that.
Okay. You try to roll over and you feel
like
whatever that
sandpaper.
substance.
Yeah.
Whatever
Who knows?
is making it.
It was just whatever was in the backyard. That's what you got in the bed now. Limestone, dirt, whatever. What have
Fecal
you.
matter.
Probably. I mean, it's a dog. Every time they give you a kiss on the face, that's probably what's happening.
Well, that's where we split fork at the road right there.
You don't like getting kisses from doggies.
It doesn't happen.
You don't seem like a dog person.
No,
Brian.
I am a dog person.
I mean, you got that dog in you.
Hey, man, listen.
Now we talking.
Man, listen. You all right. Now, I really do like dogs. I enjoy dogs.
Yeah, I don't believe
But
you.
I'm not.
No, you're
listen,
a liar.
the first time I saw a dog, and I understand it's a part of their territorial senses. They sniff each other's backside.
I already know you hate dogs, even just from this conversation.
I'm good on the kisses and the licks, but I'll play fetch. You can come chill on the couch. I'll have your dog bone, like bite the intruder, like you my homie. But you not licking my face. Because if you stick your face in butt, what else will you stick your face in?
I mean, all kinds of nasty stuff.
Aaron, you tell me.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to be reminded of it. I definitely don't want a new puppy.
That's where he started. That's
even
right.
though this thing is like ridiculous.
It's very cute.
Stupid cute. Ridiculous.
That's how they get you. I hear it's like babies. That's how they get you.
Really? For real? That's exactly how it happens. I think I'm playing out here.
You're going to end up with another dog. How many dogs would that be?
No.
That'll be the second dog or what?
I don't know. We counting the kids? Nope. We're sharing that post. That's where it ends.
We'll find out if that is where it ends.
We will.
Okay.
Josh Allen gave a press conference the other day from the practice field. I think Josh Allen's got a problem. I think he's got like a significant issue when it comes to grudge holding. He really does hold on to stuff. And you know what? I mean, I'm not sitting here trying to tell the man he's doing it the wrong way. Clearly, he's doing great.
Yeah.
One of the best players in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
In the conversation for like top 5 on defense. One of the highest paid players in the league. Young buck, too. So I'm not trying to tell you you're doing it wrong, Josh. I'm just saying, as someone who holds a grudge, and I'm good at that.
Top tier.
It sounds like I got competition is all I'm saying.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. Josh previously had talked about his family and his legacy and how his sister won a WNBA championship. This keeps him up at night. He's like, well, if you win the WNBA championship, not only do I got to win a Super Bowl, I got to be Super Bowl MVP. I thought that was very competitive. You did too. We all did.
Yeah, I remember that.
So during the press conference, they asked, they go, is that for real? Were you just playing with us? Or is that like something you're constantly thinking about? Is this something that drives you like a psychopath?
I don't feel like we have that type of room.
Oh, stupid. I did the wrong thing. I meant this.
Man, my whole goal as an athlete is to beat my sister.
He looked this man straight in the face. He was like, look, forget the contract I just signed. Forget being drafted to the NFL. Forget getting a full ride to college. Forget Hall of Fame.
Uh-huh.
I have to beat my sister.
Hold on. Don't play anymore. Start it over. I want you to tell me who else does that sound like? He sounds like
my whole goal as an athlete is to beat my sister.
That's terrible.
That's what it sounds like.
You think it sounds like Charles?
Man, my whole goal. Do it.
You think of the voice?
My whole goal.
Yeah, a little bit. Not too much.
Okay. Well,
I'm just sitting here with the substance going,
yeah,
this is real.
But that's what the greats do, right?
With their sister?
Well, it just so happens that he has a high-level athlete in his immediate family.
Not just one.
Is to beat my sister. like all the goals, the football achievements is very cool. And I love going home and I love, looking at the trophies and seeing the work that I put in, but that doesn't mean anything until I beat my sister. So when I say legacy, it's deeper than what I do out here. It's my sister is, come from a competitive family, and my family is everything. Like my legacy is, my family name. I grew up, families of Hines Allens, and it's like I grew up under that status. And so for me, it was, I had to live up to the expectations. My sisters was McDonald All-Americans. My uncle was in the College Basketball Hall of Fame. I was young buck. Hey, Lil Duncan, you know what I'm saying? Lil Hines, that's what I was known as.
Do you think he feels like he hasn't accomplished as much as they have?
Deep down, if we're being honest, he knows he has. But
I don't know that he does know.
But I think he can. I think that the great ones are people who get to this level, especially, they can fool themselves into thinking they have not.
Can I say something out of pocket here? You tell me if I'm wild.
Watch your mouth, man. Dada's on his way too, so get it out right now. Go ahead.
I think Josh Allen, doing what he's done so far,
okay,
first-round draft pick, being in the NFL, getting in the second contract, getting one of the richest contracts in the league, having 17 sacks. I think all that already beats a WNBA championship. Is that out of pocket?
Hey, Nate, man.
Now we talking.
Hey,
Is that out of pocket? I'm not saying it's easy to win a WNBA championship. I'm not saying
that's exactly what you said,
no,
number one.
I'm not saying I could win a WNBA
people.
championship.
When I get in front of Cardoso, I'm going to be like, that's exactly what he said.
I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying I do think it's easier than what Josh does.
You would say that, Aaron Schachter. You would say that.
You seem so bothered.
That's terrible.
I listen to Josh, and I think he's telling himself a story that he hasn't done squat. I almost said the wrong word there. He hasn't done anything. He goes, all that stuff is cool. Yeah, fine. But I haven't won a WNBA championship. I wasn't a McDonald's All-American. I'm not in the College Basketball Hall of Fame.
Yeah. And you never will be.
Like, sorry.
Like any of those things.
Like, shout out to your uncle for being in the College Basketball Hall of Fame. It's impressive. But what you're doing is way more impressive.
Yeah. But Aaron, again, you got to find ways to motivate yourself, especially coming off of a 17-sack season, especially after you've gotten paid. Now that you're fat and greedy and paid, I got to find another way or a continued way to get to the best I can be.
Interesting you said that, because they did follow up, as we like to hear. Okay, fine. We hear your motivation for your legacy. What about this year? You're coming off a career year. What is the motivation to grow from that?
It's very personal. Last year, I'm glad I figured out what works for me. And so for me, it's okay. I'm glad it was at the time where I needed to figure it out.
AKA contract year.
To benefit off of it. But now for me, it's like, you did it because of that. No, I found out what works for me. I'm going to double up, get better from that, and improve mentally, physically, and emotionally.
I buy that. Do you buy that?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like, you've seen the sports history is littered with guys who got the big payday, and that was the last you saw of the talent. I'm not buying that from Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen is coming and bigger and better this year, too.
Absolutely.
And now I can grow from there. So for right now, man, I'm more mentally strong at this point of the season that, it's just going to keep building from here. I get to be with the guys. I get to tell them how I'm feeling, tell them where I've been, tell them where I'm going.
Where is he going? To the WNBA to win a championship,
And then to the College
Basketball Hall of Fame to set the record straight.
Go talk to some people behind closed doors.
More on Josh Allen's motivation for this season.
One of my goals is, I'm going to win Defensive Player of the Year. And for me, I have to be Tier 1. I have to be above Tier 1 because there's guys already solidified themselves that they're looking at. So for me, I have to. Okay.
It's like I'm losing the race right now. These guys are already there. I'm behind by lengths. I love that.
Lengths, but I get that's where he's trying to come from.
I mean, that's what he's saying.
But he isn't wrong in the sense that people are already thinking, okay, Nick Bosa, Myles
that's
Garrett.
Exactly the point.
Yeah.
Like you go, who's going to win Defensive Player of the Year? People already have 5 locked and loaded. None of those 5 are Josh Allen, unless they're Jags fans.
Yeah.
And so he's saying, I'm already behind in the race. What are you talking about? Career year. I lost. I don't want to lose again. Love that.
Okay, this is what y'all want, bet. But then I'm talking to Tyson. It's the same way. I'm talking to Devin. What do you want to do? I want to win Defensive Player of the Year. Well, you're going to have to beat me. So you're going to have to work. If you slacking, Defensive Player of the Year don't do that.
They do not. Do not slack. Looking at you fellas in the locker room. You want to be Defensive Player of the Year? Match my energy. Come win a WNBA championship. Match my energy. We got to do this.
You know what I'm saying? They don't slack. So that's the accountability we can hold in ourselves, is to see more guys buy into that bigger aspect. Shoot to the top. Because you don't want to. I didn't play last year to be a Pro Bowler. I'm pissed about that. You know what I mean? So that's another fuel that I can really bank on. So, man, I got a lot of stuff in my bag that I can carry on, and so a lot of things that fuel me.
Stuff in my bag equates to chips on my shoulder. I mean, he is chip on the shoulder guy to a T. Speaking my language. I love this man. I ride for Josh Allen. For sure. I believe every word that comes out of this man's mouth.
Wow. Let's not get crazy out here.
I'm telling you, this dude will win Defensive Player of the Year this year. Who's stopping Josh? Man on a mission.
Yeah. No. I believe it.
Man on a mission. They asked him, what have you heard about Ryan Nielsen? I didn't take the cut because I thought it was a silly question. And the answer wasn't tremendous. But the answer was concise. They go, what have you heard about Ryan Nielsen? He goes, well,
good.
He goes, no, he didn't say that.
Okay.
He goes, I haven't spent a lot of time with him yet, but here's what I know. He loves ball, and he wants me to rush the passer. I was like, yes.
Thank you, Josh, for seeing a question that may not be the best and still giving an answer that's...
All right, but it was like a 4-second, you're an idiot for asking the question in the beginning to begin with answer.
That's fine. Got my soundbite.
That being said, yes. Even simplified, yes. Throw me at the quarterback from every angle on this field. I am the weapon. Load it up and fire me off. Can't wait. I think this defense is going to be nasty when they figure out the secondary. I do think there's a lot of work to be done. They got to figure that out.
Yeah.
You really don't know what's going to happen in that secondary, especially with some of the injury concerns and some of the scheme play concerns. But I do think the defense is going to be nasty up front. I know for sure the linebackers are nasty. And I think once the secondary gets a handle on what they've got going, this is going to be a pretty big defense. I think for sure top 15.
Oh, I would say easily.
No, I'm saying done deal top 15 because they weren't last year. But top 10 is where my prediction is.
If they figure out the secondary.
I mean,
is that what you're saying?
Not really. Even if it's a middle of the pack secondary. You're talking about a guy who had 17 sacks last year. Do you think Josh comes close to that number this year?
Well, would that be figuring it out?
Not necessarily.
Because last year, their passing, as far as the yardage against, and I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but I know that they were down there.
It was ugly.
So if they're middle of the pack, that's kind of figuring it out compared to last season.
Fair enough. Do you think Josh Allen stays at the level he was at last year?
I think he can maintain it, even though it doesn't look like 17 sacks.
Okay.
I think
do you think Trayvon Walker goes above and beyond where he was last year?
That's where you're going to see some improvement.
Do you think Eric Armstead is anywhere near where he was at last year?
I got to see what he looks like.
Now you're talking about north of 30 sacks between those three. And you're not even counting a guy like Devin Lloyd, who they're going to throw at the quarterback possibly, and guys like Roy Robertson Harris, Mason Smith.
Listen, how well do these guys mesh together, another season together? I mean, outside of Eric Armstead, how well do they mesh in this new defensive scheme? There's a lot of moving parts. But if I'm just talking about talent and what I've seen, Aaron Schachter, sure. If it can happen in Philadelphia, if it can happen in San Francisco, it can happen here in Jacksonville. As far as having guys where 2 seasons ago, remember when Philly had like 85 dudes and they all had like 10-plus sacks? And you're just like,
yeah,
okay.
2 years ago, yes.
How does something like that happen? But listen, the talent that our guys have, especially in that front seven, I think that it's possible. And I think that they're going to help each other out because you can't just focus on 1 or 2 guys. Hopefully you have to focus on the entirety of, that front, that when you're looking at it from an offensive point of view.
All right, one more cut and then we'll hit the break because we're running a little bit late. They asked Josh Allen, give your thoughts on Eric Armstead so far.
First of all, he has the eye, the structure. So it's like, oh, he's a guy. And then when you have the conversation with him, he has the intellect. And then when you see the film, he has the film. So he has everything that you really want to need in a defensive tackle. I'm excited to play against him. Obviously, he played at a high level for so long out there in San Fran. He played with Nick, So
this is the part that I wanted you to pay attention to right here.
Nick, so he's played with guys that played at a very high level. For me, I want him to show, I want to show him that I ain't no Nick, but I'm Josh. And this is a bad boy. It's a bad boy right here.
You almost said the wrong word right there. You almost needed a dump button from you, my friend.
Yeah.
But this is wild to me. Josh Allen, who just had a 17-sack season, more than Eric Armstead's ever put in.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, first-round draft pick. Josh Allen, who just scored a major contract deal, more than Eric Armstead has ever scored. Josh Allen sitting here got something to prove to Eric Armstead. And the only reason he's got something to prove it to him is because he admires the man's style of play. He's like, oh, you played with one of the greats. Well, I'm going to show you what great really is all about. I love this dude.
I love it.
I ride for Josh Allen.
Love to see it.
It's the Aaron Schachter Show. When we come back, Dada 5000, Danielle Moinet. We're talking bare knuckle fights. Hang with us on the Aaron Schachter Show, ESPN 690.
Spring has sprung and tax return season is here. Now's the time to beautify your home by replacing your old windows with new energy-efficient, easy-to-clean windows from American Window Products. Keep the summer heat out with special glass packages including low E3 and argon gas. American Window Products only uses the highest quality products and professionally trained employees to install. Call now to find out why they were voted the #1 window company in Jacksonville. 731-2247 for a free estimate or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
Hi, it's me, your plumber, with important information for anyone interested in safe, soft, filtered water. Don't drink bottled water. Get advice from someone you trust, buy a water filter, and don't call those high-priced water guys. Instead, call me, your plumber. I recommend Safety Zone water systems, so you get top quality equipment, affordable prices, and you'll save money too. Safety Zone is your #1 choice considering price, performance, and reliability.
Safety Zone Water is the single-source water treatment supplier for the plumbing industry. Our distributor is Nolan Company Jacksonville, the leading plumbing wholesaler for water treatment in Northeast Florida. For sales and service, contact your local plumber or visit us at safetyzonewater.com.
Safety Zone Water.
The #1 water brand recommended by plumbers.
Howard works from home. I try to keep things professional. But stuff happens. Now Howard and his wife are working with Community First on a home equity loan to make renovations to his home with no closing costs and special low rates, so Howard can build the office of his dreams.
So live your best life
with Community First. Learn more at communityfirstfl.org. Member NCUA.
Hey Jacksonville Koozies, it's me, Soccer Sam, for Salvatore's Pizza. Rochester, New York's favorite pizza is now open in Jacksonville, Florida, Tapestry Park at the Loft Hotel Plaza. Daily $10 deals, dine in with beer and wine, and delivery at salvatores.com. The famous Formoso family brings Salvatore's Pizza, Rochester's favorite pizza, including our 32-piece sheet pizza for your next event. Do it with me, baby. Salvatores.com.
Snyderman, can you move things in your mind?
Nope.
Did you read our minds?
I got nothing. Were you thinking of nothing?
No. So, what makes you a superhero?
I can tell if you should repair or replace your air conditioning system.
If it's time to replace your air conditioning unit, Snyder can help. Get 0% interest if you pay in full within 60 months. Visit SnyderAC.com and get the details in a flash.
Flash? I think you mean Snyderman.
CAC 1813306.
Ammon here with Zero Res. After a long day's work, my family and I love to sit on our favorite sofa and recliners and watch a good TV show. It kind of helps us wind down for the day. We usually pass around some fresh popcorn too. That's why we need to bring home the Zero Res truck and get that furniture looking great again.
For the month of June, Zero Res is offering 25% off all upholstery cleaning. That's 25% off a sectional, 25% off a sofa, 25% off a love seat, and 25% off your favorite recliner. Zero Res spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
Ooma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm? I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business calm at ooma.com/radio.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Studios, Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Chris
Christine Lisi. Basketball Hall of Famer Jerry West, a defining figure in the NBA for more than 6 decades, has died at the age of 86. So many accomplishments in his storied career, 9 championships as a player, scout, coach, executive, and consultant, an architect of the Lakers' 10 NBA titles in the 1980s and 2000s, plus an advisor to the Warriors dynasty. ESPN NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski.
Jerry West is as important of a figure in NBA history as any I can think of. I don't think there's another individual who did so many things so well in almost every element of NBA and basketball life.
NBA is planning a tribute to West before the Mavericks host the Celtics Game 3 of the Finals tonight, 7:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio, 8:30 Eastern on ABC. Celtics center Kristaps Porzingis' rare left leg injury is listed as questionable. Dallas point guard Luka Doncic is probable with a chest contusion.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Thursday, Mike Trout, Justin Herbert, Connor McDavid. I'll tell you which stars we need to stop giving a pass to for not winning titles. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Who is this guy? Aaron Shafting? What is it? Oh, Schachter? Schachter. Okay. Shack Attack. Schachter. He gets shacked. But I digress. Here we go.
You ready? Yeah. Turn up your radio.
The Aaron Schachter Show on ESPN 690.
Welcome back to the Aaron Schachter Show. 904-362-9901. Hanging out in the studio. I'm Aaron Schachter, Brian Middleton behind the glass. And I am very excited, Brian. We have guests in the studio.
Do we?
Ladies and gentlemen, we would love to introduce the one and only legendary Dada 5000, as well as Danielle Moinet. Did I pronounce that right, Moinet?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Summer Rae is most.
Oh, are you going by Summer Rae?
No, that's how people know me.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I just don't know if that's how you're doing it these days.
Yeah, it's okay. Whatever works.
Also, Danielle Moinet makes you sound like a cool pop star.
That's true. It's not me.
Yeah. Well, guys, you're in town for BYB 27, BYB Extreme Bareknuckle Fights, the Brawl in Duuuval. And we are very excited to have you guys in town. We sometimes we'll get a couple of these bare knuckle promos coming through, but none bringing Dada 5000 with them now.
100%. It's true. It wasn't on my bingo card to be doing media with Dada 5000 in 2024, but here we are.
Well, that was literally the first thought I had when I started looking into the both of you and researching the interview. I'm like, this is an odd pairing.
It's great. That's what makes us good. It's like you're the yin to my yang.
100%.
Or do you want to be yang? And I'll be yin.
You giving him the choice?
Yeah.
All right.
Or I'm like the Oreo filling, you're the Oreo. You know?
I see how that goes now.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Okay, fair enough. Well, Dada, you've had a wild history when it comes to the fights. You've been around this game now for decades, not to make you feel a little bit old there.
No, definitely.
Just trying to put it out there. You were early in the game when it came to this stuff.
100%. You know, we was down in sunny South Florida. You know, we was doing bare knuckle before the sport was even popular, before anybody could even think that we would be here to this day. I already knew that someday we were going to grace the main stage with bare knuckle fighting. We revolutionized the way that the world look at extreme reality.
My co-host Brian, he's a little bit younger than me, so I don't know if he remembers the old internet of the AOL and Netscape days, Brian, but some of the earliest viral videos were these backyard fights where you're looking at these mammoth men, these giant human beings, just throwing hands, scrapping with these giant meat hooks. You look at Dada's fist, Dada's hand, it's this giant bag of meat that he's just putting into people's faces.
How were they doing it again? Make that face again?
Oh, it's just wild.
Wow.
You found some of those clips recently and put it on your Instagram, right?
100%. Listen.
These back in the day clips?
Yeah, y'all got to check out his Instagram. He just put all this stuff up.
I got to tell you like this. Again, it goes back. We were doing bare knuckle fighting before it was popular, to the point that social media didn't exist.
It didn't exist
when we was doing this, and it's like it became a phenomenon, you know. And we have content that the world hasn't seen yet. You know, I've done over 100 fights. You know, over 100 fights easily. I've seen individuals get put to sleep in every way possible. And I think it's about time that some of those clips resurface. You know, we grace
behind
the
a
people.
paywall. You got to put a
There it
subscription.
is. Yeah, you got to be thinking with the business head. I like that a lot. Yeah. You know, it's wild to me, Dada. You talk about people being put to sleep and all that. There is something that is so much more satisfying when you see a guy get knocked out versus put to sleep in like a chokehold or something like that. And that's not to say that things like MMA, UFC aren't exciting to watch, but these bare knuckle fights are another level of adrenaline and amped.
100%. Listen, creative minds never take a day off, right? So when you look at the innovative individuals behind BYB, this is who we are. This is what we do. So when you look at the boxing ring, right? Boxers and wrestlers have always fought inside the squared circle. MMA fighters have always fought inside the octagon. We are so creative and innovative, we put together the mighty trigon, which stands above all else. It's the most dominating fighting forum known to man. It has a 98% KO/TKO finish rate, and that's what the world is going to see this Friday night.
That's literally what it translates to.
So small, too. Like
Yeah.
my first fight that I went to for BYB in February, you can't escape it. Like you're in this triangle and they get you in the corner and then you move and they're back on you. For me, it was really wild to hear the knuckles hit the face. And I think flying me out, when BYB flew me out, it was more like we both were interested in working together, but like, let's see if I could stomach it, honestly. And so it was fine. I will say our last fights in Denver, I did stand up and kind of move away for a second because the blood was spewing so much. My outfit was red, so I felt like it, matched. But yeah, there are some things where I was like, oh, that wasn't that bad. And then there's some fights where I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
It's rough.
Yeah.
That's right. You look at the floor, you look at the mat, sometimes you're like, oh, that looks like an abstract painting from Jackson Pollock or something like that. Brian, it's wild. The trigon, I don't know if you had a chance to look this up on the internet. They were like, a square or an octagon allows fighters to run away too easily. Let's put them in a small triangle and force them to meet in the middle.
I mean, you like that, man. Action is always happening.
It's an understatement. Yeah. Action is always happening, especially with the BYB 27 Brawl in Duuuval at the Prime Osborne Convention Center. This is June 14th, just 2 days from now. Tickets are on sale. Where can they get tickets, guys?
They can get tickets at BYB Extreme Tickets.com. Is that correct? BYB Tickets.
I see it at BYBExtreme.com. Yes, and there's a button to buy tickets right there, I think.
100%. Just going back to the mighty trigon, this thing is designed to promote confrontation, and it tests an athlete's overall fight IQ because you got to have good footwork, good head movement. If not, you're going to sleep, and it's going to be a short night at the office. And we start off extremely close. This is an action-packed roller coaster ride, that's full of thrills and chills. If you are a fight adrenaline junkie, this is the place for you to be this Friday night at BYB Extreme. And I always said, when it comes to bare knuckle, at BYB Extreme, we make the weekends. And we've been saying this since the yard, and now it holds true today.
Well, you guys got star power up front in the front office. Now you got star power on the broadcast team with Danielle, a.k.a. Summer Rae. And I do want to talk to you about the beginnings for you, because I find your story pretty interesting. Born in Long Island, like the rest of my people. Then you move down to the, North Carolina, and you grow up there in the Carolinas. Anything about, what's it called, Brian? Low Country talk? Is that what it's called?
Oh, you're bringing up the Geechee?
Geechee.
Talk?
You know anything about Geechee talk?
No,
you
what
never
is
heard
that?
of this?
I told you, once you cross that border.
Yeah, that is the North Carolina,
like,
South
what are you talking about?
I guess down in South Carolina is a whole other language that none of us know about.
South Carolina and North Carolina are very different. I don't claim that.
Yeah.
Why are you shooting at my state like that?
I'm in the north, honey. Like, I don't know about South Carolina. But yeah, we say y'all. You know?
Sure. Well, while in North Carolina.
You put sugar in your grits and butter. I don't know about y'all, but.
Yeah, I think just cheese down here.
Yeah, I can't claim that. Some butter.
No,
sugar, that's
sugar.
All right.
I did hear that, South Carolina was closely, affiliated with rice. When you talk about the Geechees, like, they eat a lot of rice.
Is that the case, Brian? Can we get a fact check on that one? Okay.
No, that is correct.
All right. All right, fair enough. Well, over there in North Carolina, you end up going to school, and I'm not sure if you played any sport in school.
No, East Carolina, no. I just was trying to make it through them classes.
But when you get out, sport is what you're all about. You end up playing football for the Chicago Bliss in the Lingerie Football League.
Yes.
This is a wild occupation.
You know, my poor parents, they always told me they paid for my education if I stayed in school. So I stayed in school, and then I went and played in the Lingerie Football League where everyone blew out their MCL, PCLs, ACLs. And then I was like, you know what?
You probably shouldn't run the plays in high heels,
Yeah.
then you won't be blowing the knees out.
I'm like, that's not enough. Like girls getting punched in the face. It was very gruesome. It was early bare knuckle days for me. And then going to wrestling, like my parents were probably just like, why can't you just stay
Be
at a
normal?
desk?
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
So, it was interesting. I just saw the injuries and I always knew I wanted to be a wrestler. That was my dream. And I'm like, what am I doing wasting my time? So,
But before you played quarterback over there
no,
for
I
the
played
Chicago Bliss.
corner.
Oh, corner.
Yeah, I'm not as skilled. I'm not
well,
that skilled.
you walked in this room, I was like, really? That's a short quarterback. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not. I play corner, so we were more like a defensive end.
Yeah,
we
chase
were,
it down.
Yeah, 7 to 10 yards off the ball. I couldn't catch anything.
So you're more of a tackler.
Yes, and I was more of a like ring you around your neck. Like we played really dirty. Yeah,
Sure.
it's not
Why
great.
not?
Yeah, why not?
I've seen the highlights.
And I
of
was
the
like
soccer
one of the
games as well.
skinnier girls, so everyone kind of came after me. So I had to play dirty.
Okay, so this is
Now we
interesting
talking.
because we have seen some of these ladies take seriously the weight room, but it doesn't look like that you've bulked. It's not bulking season
no,
for Danielle
No, it's
Moinet.
not. It was just Miami Swim Week, so I had to keep it lean. Yeah.
So all that time, you're doing the Lingerie Football League. You're also doing some modeling.
Yes.
But you decide, was it just one season in the Lingerie Football
No, it was
League?
there 3.
3 years.
Yeah, we went to MTV too, and so yeah, it was
Any
like,
serious injuries you dealt with there?
I was pretty good other than concussions.
Yeah, well, that's kind
But
of a serious injury.
everyone was like blowing out, their knees, and the insurance wasn't that great. So yeah, just blacked out a couple times.
Was it a wake-up call? Was it a wake-up call to you when you started suffering some of these injuries and you're like, oh, this is real life. I got to now pay for some of this stuff?
No, I was just dumb. Like seeing girls like break their ankles. I don't know what I was thinking. Insurance.
How old
I don't
were
even know
you?
if I had personal insurance. I was like mid-20s.
Yeah, that's what it is. You were suffering from a 24-year-old brain.
Yeah. I was like, I'll be fine.
Yeah, sure, you're invincible.
Yeah,
no
and
big
I
deal.
did the PR for them. So I was, on like NBC, CBS locally, and I did the national commercial. So yeah, a lot of times the things I do, I don't do it small, So then I was like, oh, I can take that and get that into WWE using the PR and stuff from that.
I was reading an interview with you a little bit earlier today, and it was around the time frame of when you were just finishing up the Lingerie Football League, and you were talking about some goals you wanted to set for yourself.
Oh, gosh.
You seem like a very goal-oriented person.
Yes, what did I say?
And one of the goals you named was that you wanted to be a WWE diva.
Yeah. I think I have a lot of friends. I live in Nashville. I have a lot of friends that are musicians, and I've accomplished things, a lot of professional athlete friends. And I feel like when you look at the whole world, maybe 0.5% of the world ever accomplished their top dream. Like the dream that you sit around and talk about with people, and you're like, I want to be an astronaut, and then they don't do it, And so like Dada and I sitting here, I think it's just very unique that I've accomplished what I always wanted to do. And I never even thought past being a WWE diva. Like that was my end goal. So then once I was there, I was like, okay, now I want to do a movie.
Yeah,
like
now
I want to
what? Yeah.
do stunts in a movie. Like I almost felt silly that I capped myself off at such a big dream. But at the time, there was only 6 girls really on the main roster. And now that there was 13, now there's a lot down at the Performance Center. So yeah, it was definitely a goal of mine. And I don't take no for an answer.
We keep talking about these physical jobs, right? Playing in the football league or doing the WWE stuff. Like at some point, the clock catches up with the body where maybe this isn't what you want to do for a profession.
Sure.
Do you
Or like
thi-
forever.
Do you think you're mentally there, or do you think you still have those aspirations?
Well, first and foremost, I don't age and I will never age. I refuse to. I'm big into NAD and like.
What's NAD?
Oh God, that's a whole nother thing that I can go down. But NAD is in your cells. When you're 20 years old, it's cut in health, and it's your cellular age. So you have your biological age and your cellular age. And so if you're 20 in real life, if you've had a lot of concussions, you can be like 32.
Okay.
So it's a way to age backwards, which I will.
How old does that make you, Dada? 854? What are we doing now?
But there's a lot of things like with peptides, NADs, like IV therapy that you can do to like heal yourself from the inside out.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother thing that I'm sure people on ESPN don't want to talk about. But I don't think I look my age. I'm 40, and I've worked a lot in sports. And, yeah, like, I don't want to be taking bumps every day. I definitely don't want to be wrestling every day, but I get the itch. I miss it. You know, maybe one day I'll find a man and have a baby and be normal.
You did show back up with the organization a couple of years ago, didn't you?
Yes, I was at the Royal Rumble 2.5 years ago in St. Louis. We were just talking about the St. Louis market and how it's hot.
And obviously we're a big market here with AEW, the hometown for AEW wrestling with Tony Khan and the boys.
I watch AEW religiously.
I wonder if there's a space there, if there's an avenue available for AEW and BYB to maybe work together on a promo and maybe bring something to the forefront here with my guy Dada.
I should have invited Tony, actually. Now you make me a bad employee.
Yeah, you should invite Tony.
I should have invited Tony. But,
give him a call.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You know, it was interesting with me starting to work with BYB. There's definitely crossover with the wrestling audience and the bare knuckle audience. So, yeah, if there's any wrestling fans out there, I think you would really, really love BYB because they have the promos and they hate each other, and it's actually real life, and it's not just scripted.
Wild stuff, man. And now you're part of the broadcast team for BYB.
Yeah.
And you've been, I'm assuming you've been getting some reps in. You've been doing some work, at least practicing, if not being there for the real thing.
Yeah, so I'm doing the ring interviews after the fights. And it was interesting because I think there's really only like 3 BYB female employees, and Claudia is just the most amazing. Like, Claudia she's just called Canelo every fight possible, right?
100%. Claudia is the first mainstream female Hispanic.
Yes, she does Spanish announcing, and she's just a bad bitch. Like, I don't know if that's just the only way to put it. So
sometimes the only way to put it.
Yeah, it's the only way to put it. So coming in and seeing her and just her knowledge, yeah, it's just incredible. So when I stepped in to get in the ring in Denver, I had like little clear heels on, and my outfit was so cute for the fight. And I got in, and there's blood everywhere, like blood. And I hadn't thought, because Big Mo is usually who does this really big man, and he's wearing, flat shoes. And I hadn't thought about the blood and the slipping and the high heel. So, it was definitely something I was like, oh, Claudia, like, what do you wear? Because she doesn't get in the ring a whole lot. She's usually at the Spanish announce table. So, yeah, it's been cool. I think, having a female perspective around BYB is going to be fun. And coming from the wrestling world, there's so many similarities. So I've just loved my time here. I feel like everyone really respects me and is excited to have my train of thought with the team.
Very cool. That's something I learned today is I got to wear the dark red high heels when I go to BYB.
You just got to wear a red t-shirt. You got to buy the merch.
Yes. All right. Well, let's talk about some of that merch because it comes from the brain of you, Dada, and the rest of the dudes up there in the front office. So talk about the creation of BYB. Obviously, you've been in the fight game, like I said, for years, and you've got this history we're going to get into here in the next segment because you've got some wild stories there. But the next level of the fight game, once you're done doing the fighting, is doing the fight promoting. And it seems like that's where you've landed at this point.
100%. I understood the importance, from a long time ago. When you talk about, creating opportunity, creating the platform, that's what I was doing inside of the backyard, and BYB Extreme is the next phase of evolution, for backyard brawls, and I really feel that, what we're doing, we are revolutionizing, a sport that has made a U-turn. They say, hey, Dada, you've taken boxing and MMA back 10 years when I was in the backyard because they didn't see the vision. But I understood that, if you continue, moving forward in a productive manner, people will eventually get on the bandwagon.
Sure.
And some of the same people that said it wouldn't work and that I was crazy, these the same ones that are saying, wow, I love what you guys are doing over there. And when you talk about building stars, that is exactly what we're doing. We're building them, organically from the ground up. BYB Extreme is real, is raw, is authentic. You can't mention bare knuckle fighting nowhere in the world if Dada 5000 or BYB Extreme is not coming out inside your opening sentence.
I think sometimes also people got to see the path to make money in the sport as well before they can consider it a serious deal. I think when you're there in your backyard doing it and having a great time and it looks like a party and it's wild, and yeah, maybe you're making money on the back end there, but as a large business, I think when people come to the table to start profiting off of things, suddenly everyone starts to take it very seriously.
Well, here's the thing with that, and it's interesting that you brought it up. So we had Gatorade presence back there. We had Red Bull presence back there. We had Monster
You're talking about
Energy.
the backyard fights.
100%. We had all of those guys.
How different was it back in the day that those companies, because today they would never get anywhere close to that.
Well, here's the thing with that, right? But because we were not 100% legit, they couldn't back us like how we wanted them to. But they would give us their product.
Okay.
They would give us the product, so forth like that. And again, I wouldn't trade that experience for nothing in the world because it put me in a position. They say time is money, right? So I've met everybody. I've met every person that you could think of back there when the stakes were low, right?
Yeah.
So now when I see a situation, I could pretty much nip it in the bud, so I don't spend much time, So, I mean, it's an experience that no one could tell you about. You had to actually be back there, you know what I'm saying? And that's why this footage, like you say, we got to put it behind the financial wall, it's so important.
And it's interesting, too, because taxi cabs said that about Uber and, hotels said that about Airbnb. And so I think that's a compliment when there's pushback and people tell you things. It's like, I'm onto something here.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah, the harder they fight, the more you know you got something going.
Sure.
For sure.
There was a couple clips that Yuli and Dana showed me. Oh, my gosh. Someone just came off the street and wanted to fight. Like, it wasn't in your lineup, and there was just these two women. And I think Yuli was like, they weren't even supposed to be there, and they just came up off the street.
Yeah,
and
it's girl next door fights.
Whooping ass.
Yeah,
like,
man.
it's crazy.
I got to imagine that's a problem, Dada, sometimes, too, especially when you have the legacy and the legend of the backyard fights behind you. How many times are people trying to pull your card on the street?
Believe it or not, I've never had it happen.
Oh, it's wild. I couldn't tell by the size of this man. He's
People
a giant
don't try to
human
fight
being.
you?
No, I'm such a cool, calm, collective guy until I'm not, right?
Yeah.
That's weird because Brian was saying he could kick your ass. So I was trying to tell him, hey, man, calm down. You got to respect this dude.
I'm one of the ones that we just didn't put on events for athletes, for individuals who, were serious and passionate about it. Everybody that was in the backyard, they had their own story, their own reason for being back there. And what they don't talk about a lot is this. We've reduced a lot of violence, gang violence inside of the backyard. Instead of, you guys, involving the community because none of them are accurate with the firearm, right? We say, hey, put down the guns, pick up your fist. You settle it like men. A knot on the head today, it'll heal tomorrow.
Yeah, you'll be able to wake up tomorrow, yeah.
100%.
Yeah, and a lot of that was something, it's good you touch on that, Dada, because something that I found very interesting my first two fights with BYB is hearing a lot of the fighters' stories and seeing, how they're using BYB to turn their life around. And, if they've, had a rough upbringing or if they just, got out of jail or they've wanted to, like, really use this to be like, okay, this is my second chance. Like, this is what I want to do. What's something I know? I know how to fight. Well, who's going to give me that platform? And, like, BYB, I think, does a great job with, like, giving a lot of people opportunities and equal opportunities and a big stage. And then it's up to the fighters how they choose to show up for the fight, if they've cut weight, if they've trained hard enough, like put your money where your mouth is. But BYB kind of gives those people a home, and I think it's a very inspiring story.
Oh, Brian, let's go ahead and take a break because I want to get to Dada 5000's backstory here. It's just an amazing ride we're about to go on the Aaron Schachter Show. BYB 27, the brawl in Duuuval, man. Bare knuckle fights going down at the Prime Osborne Convention Center 2 nights from tonight on June 14th. Tickets available at BYBExtreme.com, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes right here on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
I'm Action News Jack's First Alert meteorologist Trevor Gibbs. Near 90 this afternoon with mostly inland showers and a few thunderstorms to provide some relief from the heat, but our coastal communities and beaches likely to stay driest today. For tonight, partly cloudy with lows in the lower 70s before we're back in the upper 80s for Thursday with only an isolated shower or storm. Plenty of dry time. From the Action News Jack's First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Trevor Gibbs.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. 0% financing for 5 years is back for a limited time at Beards Diamonds.
Victim of a slip and fall? It takes one phone call to take back control of your life. Anajar and Levine will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Call me, Mark Anajar, for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Main office, Jacksonville.
Are you a real estate investor or have considered investing and want to know where you can put your money that offers solid returns and protects against market volatility? It's Rich Jones. I want to introduce you to DLP Capital, CEO and founder Don Wenner.
For more than a decade, DLP Capital has delighted our investors with consistent double-digit returns. Through the smart, conservative real estate investment strategy our company is built on, we have been able to achieve this with monthly distributions and tax shelters so our investors can keep more of their returns.
Dial * invest on your cell phone or visit highyieldreturns.net.
This is what smart jewelry buyers have been waiting all year for at Beard's Diamonds. 0% financing for 5 years, 0 down on everything in the store.
At the St. John's Town Center or beardsdiamonds.com.
Don't buy anywhere until you shop Beard's Diamonds.
I've got 2 words for you. Incredible inventory. And it's all at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. I'm talking over 600 vehicles in stock, one location. That's over 275 SUVs, over 200 cars, over 110 pickups. Arlington Pre-Owned even has 125 vehicles under $18,000. Plus, now you get 60 days to love your purchase or exchange it. And help from Arlington's Credit for Everyone program. Shop 10939 Atlantic Boulevard or arlingtontoyota.com.
Hi, it's me, your plumber, with important information for anyone interested in safe, soft, filtered water. Don't drink bottled water. Get advice from someone you trust, buy a water filter, and don't call those high-priced water guys. Instead, call me, your plumber. I recommend Safety Zone water systems, so you get top-quality equipment, affordable prices, and you'll save money too. Safety Zone is your #1 choice considering price, performance, and reliability.
Safety Zone Water is the single-source water treatment supplier for the plumbing industry. Our distributor is Nolan Company Jacksonville, the leading plumbing wholesaler for water treatment in Northeast Florida. For sales and service, contact your local plumber or visit us at safetyzonewater.com.
Safety Zone Water.
The #1 water brand recommended by plumbers.
If you have those achy joints, you can change your life with a phone call to QC Kinetics and get a free consultation, 904-274-5522. This is the future of medicine. Tens of thousands of QC Kinetics patients around the country are living their best life this year because they made the call. 904-274-5522. It's a free consultation. Revolutionary treatments for joint pain are here in Jacksonville with locations in Mandarin and in Ponte Vedra as well. QC's regenerative medicine protocols can restore and repair that damaged tissue. No surgery, no steroids, no drugs, no downtime. Enjoy life. Get rid of those achy joints, those knees, hips, back, shoulders. Make them feel better by giving QC Kinetics a call at 904-274-5522. QC medical professionals are under the direction of Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup. He was an orthopedic surgeon who became a true pioneer in regenerative medicine. He knew there had to be a better way, and there is, by giving QC Kinetics a call at 904-274-5522.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for the... And there they go, almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the
right seat. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I'm sure many of you guys feel like you wish you could be as fit as you were in your 20s. The dad bod is really tough to shed. I'm Dr. Lance Snyder, and I did something about it through Dr. Rappaport at the Jax Aesthetic Center. I'm active, I played college sports, and I still work out a few times a week. Nothing worked. As a doctor and a dad, I want to be around as long as possible and feel good about my body. Dr. Rappaport put together a personalized treatment plan that worked. It was easy for me to make appointments, get to those appointments, and get back to work in time. I also recommend the Emsella chair for any urinary issues or ED. Dr. Rappaport has state-of-the-art treatment options for men. And the M-Sculpt Neo is an abs blast. 20,000 crunches in 30 minutes. Give yourself your own gift this Father's Day at the Jax Aesthetic Center. Build muscle and lose fat. Call or text today, 904-808-2455. That's 904-808-2455. You won't be sorry.
Advisory services through Talon Private Wealth and SEC registered investment advisor. Lord license D056341.
On Guarding Your Nest Egg Radio, Mike Lester, founder of Talon Wealth, focuses on a key question many share. Do I have enough to retire?
For starters, we'll do the math for you. But to me, it's really more about lifestyle. I want to find out what's important to you. I want to find out what your expenses are. And then I'm going to give you a realistic expectation moving forward of how your money needs to be invested to accomplish your goals in retirement.
Get to know Mike at guardingyournestegg.com.
Welcome back to the Aaron Schachter Show. ESPN 690 here with you guys up until 5, hanging out with Summer Rae, a.k.a. Danielle Moinet, Dada 5000, BYB 27, The Brawl in Duuuval, coming down on June 14th. Prime Osborne Convention Center, bare knuckle fights, and there's a whole bunch of them to go over. Lots of them going down on the card. It looks like the big one you guys are promoting is Barnard and McQueen. That seems like it's the top of the card, is it not?
100%. You know, McQueen, he's a beast, and so is his opponent. You know,
it could go either way.
Yeah, it was a very competitive, serious fight.
Yeah.
The last time, so it's a real treat to see these guys get out there and to leave it all in the mighty Trigon ring this Friday night under the bright lights.
Now, I'm not trying to say that I could take on a guy like John Barnard. I don't believe I can. I'm sure I'd be eating my teeth if I even tried. But it's just very interesting when you see the PR photos. You got a guy in Harold McQueen who's rocking like a 15-pack in the abdomen, and John Barnard just looks like he finished a pack of Funyuns, but apparently he's going to do some work there in the fights,
you should see some of the heavyweights. They look like they just jumped off an 18-wheeler and drank a 12-pack of Bud Light, and they would kill you. It's crazy. Yeah, you cannot judge a book by its cover.
What do you think the biggest quality of these fighters is that you can look at them and be like, oh, that dude is going to do some work?
Good question.
I've kind of learned you can't.
It was a guy. He fought for the UFC. You know, he was a heavy-set white guy with a big stomach, but he was destructive.
You talking about the Bear? You talking about back in the day?
Yes,
like early UFC.
No. He's not that. He's not that late. But he was a beast. So he was the definition of you can't judge a book by its cover. I've seen so many guys come out there, and they didn't look like much, but they had endurance like a whale.
Yeah.
You know, and they stood in the front, and it was a treat for the fans, you know, because they didn't back down, and they did not get tired.
It's also easy to get behind a guy who you can kind of relate to physically. Be like, maybe I could do this too.
That is true. Yeah, it's interesting, too, with bare knuckle is the knuckles cut, the eyes or cut your skin so easily.
Yeah.
So even if a guy is just the absolute favorite and he's champ, if he gets a cut really early and something just gets him, first of all, like the blood, it could be stoppage. You know, our cut man is really good about preventing blindness in the eyes and stopping the fights, which the fans like boo the shit out of it. But it's interesting too, like, we even had that with a fighter last time where it was just so swollen, so like he barely could see out. It's like, how do you even play defense for that?
Yeah.
So the other guy won. So, yeah, you really never know. Yeah, that main event on Friday could go either way. We just actually opened the betting lines legally with BYB.
That's awesome.
I think in Tampa 2 fights ago. So, you know, the betting lines for that is a heavy favorite in McQueen, but yeah, you never know.
You know, anybody has a fighter's punch.
Yeah.
Well, we will see it up close and personal on June 14th at the Prime Osborne Convention Center. You want to buy tickets, BYBExtreme.com. That's where you go to get your tickets. Dada, let's go back in the day. Let's go back to the very first time you held these backyard fights, because I imagine this was after multiple conversations with friends about things you should be doing back there and fun you guys should be having. At what point does it go from something you guys do for fun to something you see as like a possible business opportunity?
Good question. You know, in the earlier days inside the backyard, right, believe it or not, it was never about me. I never made it about me. It's always been bigger than me. It's always been about helping out, you know, individuals in the community. You know, like Danielle said earlier, you know, what these guys have and what they don't have. I know they don't have, you know, a high school diploma. They don't have a college education. They don't have a skill. But what they do got is their two hands. What they do got is a criminal record. You know, what they do got is a will. And if they're pointed in the right direction and you can create an opportunity for them, they're going to at least entertain it. And, you know, my job, like I told them, you're going to come inside of this backyard. My job is to make sure I got the biggest and the best promoters, managers, and agents. I prided myself on getting corporate America to trade in their suits and ties for baseball hats and tennis shoes, because I told them that the next best thing just may be coming out of a backyard, not a boxing, you know, gym or MMA dojo. When I said BYB Extreme Backyard, we are the greatest show on earth, I wasn't talking about Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus.
You know, it was around 2013, 14, 15. You end up running into Billy Corbin, who gets your permission to do the documentary Dogfight, and it kind of blew up the whole thing for you. It really made it into this national conversation. Did your life change a lot after that movie?
I mean, 100%. And for the fans out there, you know, I started in the backyard in 2007. We was making so much noise in the backyard.
How are you not having the cops run through there all the time?
Because I've done my research.
Because
right?
he's friends with them.
That's a good one. That's a good one. So it's like, this wasn't an affair for the cops. You know, so I understood that the only person that could provide some problems for me was code and compliance, code enforcement, right? So I'm on private property. This is mutual combatants, right? I kept the streets clean, so forth like that. What I was doing in the backyard was no different than the dude that's cutting hair on his porch and charging you $5. You know, the cookie lady selling cookies and candy.
I got to stop you there because you got to employ people. Like, did you have people looking over the front of the house, the streets and stuff like that, make sure it's not spilling out into there, or was it up to everyone to behave on their own?
No, of course, you know, you had to, you know, regulate and so forth.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, like, here you are running a business basically out of your backyard.
100%.
Like, way different than just giving haircuts on the back porch.
No, but here's the thing. Because it's dealing with money, exchange of money for goods and services, it's a business. And they said that I was running a business, an illegal business in a residential environment.
Yeah.
You know, no different than the church lady selling dinners, you know, for fundraisers.
Because it has to be zoned.
Yeah, zoning codes.
Yeah.
Oh, the nerds at the zoning office got you. Okay.
Yeah, because even like in my neighborhood, we have a coffee shop, and it's in the middle of all the houses. And I'm like, how is there a coffee shop in a residential area?
It's kind of a flex. You got the coffee shop down the block.
I know, it's really good coffee.
Yeah.
It's interesting you said that. You asked him about if people have ever wanted to fight you in public. Because when we would go to Europe with WWE, Mark Henry, world's strongest man. Have you ever met Mark?
Is that sexual chocolate you're talking about?
Yes, sexual chocolate. You and Mark would get along really well, and the Big Show. Mark's great. He's in Houston. If you're ever in Houston, I'll have to connect you guys. But
a lot of people tell me I look just like Mark Henry.
Yeah, exactly. It looks just like him. But because he is the world's strongest man, which he actually was, it's not a gimmick. When we would go out, sometimes in Europe, we would just go to the pub or whatever in England, and fans would try to start things with them, like fight them and be like, well, if I can throw a punch and then Mark Henry throws a punch at me, then I end up on TMZ, and it would like kind of egg them on.
All right, but that just makes you some jerk on TMZ. It doesn't mean you're famous or anything.
A little bit of fame, I guess. So we had this rule with WWE where we would go to the hotel afterwards, and we would just get, you know, some drinks, and we would always just stay there. Like, we weren't really able to like go out and like party, which also too, like, we're exhausted in our bodies. But
that still sucks. You're like prisoners in the hotel.
And so I kind of would ask them, like, why can't we, like, let's go get food or something. They're like, we'd rather you stay here. And I would ask around, and Mark would be like, oh, they always try to start things with me. So I don't know. Maybe he's such a teddy bear too. Like, he would never fight anyone.
But, you know, also, individuals have to be mindful of where they're at.
Sure.
You're down, you know.
And WWE, they're so famous over there. Like, it's crazy.
Here's the thing. When you're inside the backyard, I am Miami.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like I'm creating opportunities for
like
these individuals.
Wish someone would.
They police themselves to the point that you have someone, his nephew or his son or his cousin or brother is competing in the front of individuals that flew in that could change his life. And you have knuckleheads over there that's trying to create a ruckus. No, they deal with themselves.
That's interesting.
Oh, they alleviate that real quick.
Interesting, yeah.
So that from these backyard brawls grows the legend of one Kimbo Slice, who also went on that rocket ship ride along with you in Dogfight. And I know you guys were friends for a bit, and then there was some issues between you guys, but ultimately you meet again. You finally, after years of rumors and talk, you meet in the Bellator ring. I think it was 2016. Kimbo's last year of life, although we didn't know that at the time. This was the beginning of the year. Kimbo passes towards the middle or the end of the year. But in that fight, I believe, is where it happened for you, Dada. True or false, you died twice that night.
Yeah, I did, actually. And shout out to Billy Corbin again before I go into this. You know, I really want everybody to watch Dogfight Round 2 because
tremendous movie, the first one. I didn't know there was a second one. That's great.
100%. When the cameras went off on television, Billy's cameras stayed rolling. You know, and
he's such a great filmmaker.
And this is going to be something that is going to be so educational for parents that has children that says, hey, mom, dad, you know, I'm going to be the next XYZ champion, Bellator, UFC, boxing. And you see the work that they're putting in, right? Running sprints with logs on their backs and so forth like that. When you watch this movie, you know what I'm saying? You'll never tell your son or daughter what they can't do, but it's going to give you a broader spectrum. It's going to put you right into the thick of things, so you'll be able to navigate what they want to do a lot more carefully. That was a stage that I was on. You know, I wouldn't change the experience for the world, but it was certain things about the business that I had to learn up close and fast that night, you know.
But so in that fight against Kimbo, you end up having multiple failures within your body. I think your liver shuts down that night. Your heart stops twice. You lose consciousness. You wake up in the hospital. I'm not sure what that experience could possibly be like. I imagine your head is swimming. I don't even know if you really remember what it was like waking up in the hospital.
I remember everything.
So what was that when you wake up? Did you know something awful had happened?
I knew I was dying in the ring.
In the ring.
See, you gotta keep one thing in mind. You know, where I come from, I already had it in my mind that after the first round, right, that either this guy's gonna have to knock me out or I'm gonna die in this ring. But backing up,
you gotta believe one of those options is better than the other.
Yeah. Giving up, that was nowhere, you know, on my mind.
No.
You know, and yeah, you know, your body started shutting down in levels. You know.
Wait, how did you know your heart stopped twice? Like.
Well, when I went out. So first I went into severe dehydration, right?
Sure, I am right now.
Then some more water? We gotta get her some more water.
Then I went into kidney failure and rhabdomyolysis. So your body is going like this. The last muscle to go was the heart.
Yeah.
You know? So, you know.
And like the doctors, like after every round, like no one can tell
This was the end of the fight. This was it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, here's the thing. You know, they left us on the floor for about like 4 minutes.
3-4 minutes?
What do you mean on the floor? Like laying there?
Listen, first round we was on the floor, you know, just at a stalemate. Like this for about like 3 or 4 minutes before Big John.
Oh, I thought you meant that they left you asleep on the floor while they're all dancing around with ring cards. You're like,
absolutely not.
Dada's gonna go, man. We gotta get out of here.
How long were the rounds?
5 minutes.
Oh, that's a nice
3 5-minute round.
I like to be in a hold for 4 minutes.
And listen, here's
relaxing.
Here's a fun fact. I was leading on the cards before I went out. Yeah, leading on the cards before I went out. But a lot of people have their points of views, you know, with that fight.
Yeah.
Right? You know, at first it was Kimbo's a bad A, he's this, he's that, and that's great, right?
Yeah.
But I seen that, okay, the person that he was not the person that was standing in front of me. I seen certain things, and I was like, dude, you should have took that. You know, right?
Yeah.
And
what do you think that was about?
Good question. I think that, you know, certain things probably could have been going on with him as well.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, clearly his life came to a close that year. So, I mean, he might have been feeling it too.
And what did he pass from?
Heart attack.
Heart attack, yeah.
So maybe
at 40-something years, 42 years old.
So after that fight, did he go to the hospital?
He did.
And what did?
Just send everybody.
No,
Just send the crowd,
one floor,
send the refs,
and he was on.
Send the fighters.
He was on another one. And you know, I will say this. You know, when this documentary, you know, come out, you know, it's gonna be a jaw dropper. You know, and it's gonna answer a lot of questions. You know, I was told, Dada, don't defend that no more. We went back to Houston and we interviewed all of the doctors, you know, that worked on you that night. when this movie dropped, you know what I'm saying? Hey, better late than never.
Yeah.
People say, hey, that was the worst MMA fight on the planet,
They
right?
really did pan it when it happened, yeah.
But here's the thing, though. I wasn't in there by myself.
Yeah.
He took none of the blame.
Well, here's what the audience doesn't realize.
None.
When we're watching this fight between two giant men who are lumbering, moving slowly, and looking like they're ready to pass out, everyone who doesn't know is like, oh, out-of-shape fighters. Until you learn, no, these men are literally dying while fighting for their lives in that ring.
Yeah.
You know, but this just shows how quickly, you know, they love you today, they hate you tomorrow. But it just goes back to what I said, you know. People's like, oh, man, this right here is the worst MMA fight, you know, but all of that was being directed towards me. He was still alive at that moment.
Well, he was the celebrity, too, yeah.
Yeah.
But I wasn't in there fighting Dada.
Yeah.
You know? So for myself and how I look at, you know, the game and how I look at, you know, the nature of the business, a lot of stuff went on, you know, with that fight that the world don't know about.
Yeah.
That's why I want them to watch Dogfight when the documentary, you know, come out.
One of those things that was reported on after the fact, because originally, I believe the final decision was TKO, that Kimbo wins the fight by technical knockout. And then it comes out that there might have been some performance enhancers that he tested positive for.
All right, so again, you know, when I went down, look at it. He never touched me. It was never a connect. I was going down regardless. He didn't touch me.
So you're saying you lost the dehydration, not to Kimbo.
Yeah. You know, so, and again, when you talk about, you know, performance enhancements, you know, I'll never forget when Mayweather said to Pacquiao, I'm not fighting that guy. That guy's on steroids, right? Now, by me being in the backyard for as long as I've been in the backyard, I've seen fighters come and go, right? Now, it's unsanctioned, so they could have been on whatever they wanted to be on, right? So I was familiar with roid rage. I was familiar, you know what I'm saying, with the effects of certain drugs. When Kimbo Slice said, hey, Dada, oh, I bet mine's bigger than yours. I bet this, I bet. I'm looking at this guy, and I know, you know, the look of roid rage.
Yeah.
I started to say at that press conference, test him now. It will not be a fight later.
Somebody get a test immediately.
Test him. I seen it.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm fortunate enough, you know, I'm here, I'm healthy, and if a person didn't, you know about that fight, they wouldn't think that I've ever been through something.
Well, you're not only here, you're going to be at the Prime Osborne in 2 nights for BYB Extreme The Brawl in Duuuval, the Prime Osborne Center, bare knuckle fights. Get your tickets at BYBExtreme.com. Dada 5000, Summer Rae. It has been an absolute honor to have you guys in the studio. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll be back in a few minutes right here on the Aaron Schachter Show.
Let's face it, work sucks, but you do get a lunch break. That's where the Young and Norvell Show comes in weekdays, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on ESPN 690, featuring me, Terry Norvell, and former Gator basketball star and current SEC Network analyst Patrick Young. Let's face it, Hollywood has been fresh out of ideas for 25 years. So don't waste your valuable lunch break on the same old tired TV and movie shows. Tune in to the Young and Norvell Show, where we promise to make you laugh, think, get angry, but most important, you will have fun. It will quickly become your favorite part of the day. The Young and Norvell Show, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Ammon here with Zero Res. After a long day's work, my family and I love to sit on our favorite sofa and recliners and watch a good TV show. It kind of helps us wind down for the day. We usually pass around some fresh popcorn too. That's why we need to bring home the Zero Res truck and get that furniture looking great again.
For the month of June, Zero Res is offering 25% off all upholstery cleaning. That's 25% off a sectional, 25% off a sofa, 25% off a love seat, and 25% off your favorite recliner. Zero Res, spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Zero Res. Can you fly, Snyder-Man?
I wish.
Do you have super strength?
Above average for my age.
X-ray vision?
Nah.
Then what makes you a superhero?
Our AC is out.
Duty calls, kids.
Snyderman saves the day with affordable preventative care plans that keep systems operating at peak efficiency all year long. Get your preferred customer plan at snyderac.com today.
You're my hero, Snyderman.
CAC 1813307.
Hey Jacksonville Koozies, it's me, Soccer Sam, for Salvatore's Pizza. Rochester, New York's favorite pizza is now open in Jacksonville, Florida, Tapestry Park at the Loft Hotel Plaza. Daily $10 deals, dine in with beer and wine, and delivery at salvatores.com. The famous Formoso family brings Salvatore's Pizza, Rochester's favorite pizza, including our 32-piece sheet pizza for your next event. Do it with me, baby. Salvatores.com.
This Sunday is Century Firearms Sons of Liberty and American Tactical Father's Day sale. Mark your calendars and come check out our vast selection of firearms and accessories before this huge sale. No one provides a more personalized experience combined with good prices and large selection. Whether you're adding to your arsenal or just starting out, we have something for everyone. Go to jacksguns.com to see our extensive inventory. Our knowledgeable staff can't wait to help you find what you need. Century Firearms, your trusted partner in protection.
I'm sure many of you guys feel like you wish you could be as fit as you were in your 20s. The dad bod is really tough to shed. I'm Dr. Lance Snyder, and I did something about it through Dr. Rappaport at the Jax Aesthetic Center. I'm active, I played college sports, and I still work out a few times a week. Nothing worked. As a doctor and a dad, I want to be around as long as possible and feel good about my body. Dr. Rappaport put together a personalized treatment plan that worked. It was easy for me to make appointments, get to those appointments, and get back to work in time. I also recommend the Emsella chair for any urinary issues or ED. Dr. Rappaport has some state-of-the-art treatment options for men. And the M-Sculpt Neo is an abs blast. 20,000 crunches in 30 minutes. Give yourself your own gift this Father's Day at the Jax Aesthetic Center. Build muscle and lose fat. Call or text today, 904-808-2455. That's 904-808-2455. You won't be sorry.
Advisory services through Talon Private Wealth and SEC registered investment advisor. Lord license D056341.
On Guarding Your Nest Egg Radio, Mike Lester, founder of Talon Wealth, focuses on a key question many share. Do I have enough to retire?
For starters, we'll do the math for you. But to me, it's really more about lifestyle. I want to find out what's important to you. I want to find out what your expenses are. And then I'm going to give you a realistic expectation moving forward of how your money needs to be invested to accomplish your goals in retirement.
Get to know Mike at guardingyournestegg.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% on your choice of any 10 or more stock kitchen cabinets and countertops. Plus, save an extra 5% every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's business credit card. Visit us for the materials you need. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store at lowes.com/credit for details.
Have you seen your financial freedom wiped out by stock market volatility? It's Rich Jones. Consider investing in real estate funds from DLP Capital. Don Winter is CEO and founder.
DLP Capital has provided our investors with consistent double-digit returns by investing in cash-flowing residential real estate. For more than a decade, we have had zero losses, little volatility, and have shot above our return targets in all of our investment funds. Plus, we offer monthly distributions and tax shelter opportunities.
To get your investor's guide and learn more, dial **invest on your cell phone or visit highyieldreturns.net.
Hi, it's me, your plumber, with important information for anyone interested in safe, soft, filtered water. Don't drink bottled water. Get advice from someone you trust, buy a water filter, and don't call those high-priced water guys. Instead, call me, your plumber. I recommend Safety Zone water systems, so you get top-quality equipment, affordable prices, and you'll save money too. Safety Zone is your #1 choice considering price, performance, and reliability.
Safety Zone Water is the single source water treatment supplier for the plumbing industry. Our distributor is Nolan Company Jacksonville, the leading plumbing wholesaler for water treatment in Northeast Florida. For sales and service, contact your local plumber or visit us at safetyzonewater.com.
Safety Zone Water.
The #1 water brand recommended by plumbers.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Our returning champion, a basketball court sweat mopper from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Louis Cramp.
Great to be back, Merv.
There's only one category left on the board, Louis. People you can trust to repair your air conditioner. Your 10 seconds starts now.
Well, I'm pretty handy with tools around. So my Uncle Steve used to fix transmissions, so maybe he could... Okay, sorry. I guess just call the guys at Bueller?
That's right, Louis! The highly trained technicians at Bueller Air and Plumbing have the tools and the experience to service any make and model of home air conditioner to make sure that you are cool!
You sure I can't just have a quick...
Yeah, we're done for today.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
You have the power to provide counseling to abused children, connect kids with foster families, find shelter for homeless teens, and strengthen at-risk families. Please be a part of bettering our local community by donating to danielkids.org.
Spring has sprung, and tax return season is here. Now's the time to beautify your home by replacing your old windows with new energy-efficient, easy-to-clean windows from American Window Products. Keep the summer heat out with special glass packages, including low E3 and argon gas. American Window Products only uses the highest quality products and professionally trained employees to install. Call now to find out why they were voted the #1 window company in Jacksonville. 731-2247 for a free estimate, or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
Have you seen your financial freedom wiped out by stock market volatility? It's Rich Jones. Consider investing in real estate funds from DLP Capital. Don Winter is CEO and founder.
DLP Capital has provided our investors with consistent double-digit returns by investing in cash-flowing residential real estate. For more than a decade, we have had zero losses, little volatility, and have shot above our return targets in all of our investment funds. Plus, we offer monthly distributions and tax shelter opportunities.
To get your investor's guide and learn more, dial *invest on your cell phone or visit highyieldreturns.net.
Hi, it's me, your plumber, with important information for anyone interested in safe, soft, filtered water. Don't drink bottled water. Get advice from someone you trust, buy a water filter, and don't call those high-priced water guys. Instead, call me, your plumber. I recommend Safety Zone water systems, so you get top-quality equipment, affordable prices, and you'll save money too. Safety Zone is your #1 choice considering price, performance, and reliability.
Safety Zone Water is the single source water treatment supplier for the plumbing industry. Our distributor is Nolan Company Jacksonville, the leading plumbing wholesaler for water treatment in Northeast Florida. For sales and service, contact your local plumber or visit us at safetyzonewater.com.
Safety Zone Water.
The #1 water brand recommended by plumbers.
Why Arlington Toyota? Okay, this you've got to hear. Just drive to their lot and you're going to see that Arlington has a huge selection of new vehicles in stock in one location. No more driving around trying to find what you want. Arlington's got it. And every new Toyota purchase comes with Arlington's lifetime warranty, unlimited time and miles. Plus, you get 60 days to love your new purchase or exchange it. And Arlington's Credit Helper program to help you get financed. Shop ArlingtonToyota.com today.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Our returning champion, a basketball court sweat mopper from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Louis Cramp.
Great to be back, Merv.
There's only one category left on the board, Louis. People you can trust to repair your air conditioner. Your 10 seconds starts now.
Well, I'm pretty handy with tools around. So my Uncle Steve used to fix transmissions, so maybe he could... Okay, sorry. I guess just call the guys at Bueller?
That's right, Louis! The highly trained technicians at Bueller Air and Plumbing have the tools and the experience to service any make and model of home air conditioner to make sure that you are cool!
You sure I can't just have a quick...
Yeah, we're done for today.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Father's Day is this Sunday, so now's the time to save on the perfect gift at Macy's Father's Day sale. Use your coupon or Macy's card and take 25% off great gift ideas. Or shop Father's Day specials, like 50 to 60% off designer suits, blazers, and pants, and 40% off belts, wallets, and travel accessories. Plus find watches from Citizen, Bulova, Seiko, and more. Give love today at Macy's Father's Day sale. Savings off regular sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Live from the Anajar and Levine studios, Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The NBA is planning a tribute before Game 3 of